Good afternoon to everyone who may be watching this, or morning or evening, or whenever it happens to be that you watch this video, if you watch it, which you probably won't. At any rate, today I want to introduce you to some of the unsung heroes of the American convenience stores. Sometimes people just get their snacks all wrong, or they order ones based on, or they buy ones based on popularity, or health reasons, or through any other misguided channels. I'm here today to stop that. I want to introduce to you the most important and underemphasized items that you'll find in a convenience store, as well as how to eat them. Many people don't realize that the timing and schedule and order in which you eat your snacks is crucially important to the experience. And that's why we're going to start out today with a Slim Jim. Slim Jims have that sort of bold, incorrigible air to them that it's one of the reasons why they've been so popular for so long. But still, they don't get quite the credit they deserve. And most people are a bit more adept at opening them than I am. You would think after all of my years of experience that would not be the case, but anyway, you start out with a Slim Jim. It's a high energy snack, and it just sort of puts you in a productive, positive, excited frame of mind. Randy Savage may be gone, but his advice is as important now as ever. Snap into a Slim Jim, and you'll snap into your convenience store snack routine in the right way. So now that we're underway, we'll transition to the next major food group for your convenience store. Snacking schedule. A bit of a loss for words today. Now there are 4 food groups for this. You have your meat-based snacks, you have your candy bars, you have your salty snacks, and then you have your pastries and pies and so forth. Also, there's the drinks that you want to take care of now. If Mr. Pibb is available, that's always what you should go for. Sometimes it just isn't, and you'll have to make do with the number 2 go-to soda, Fresca. Mountain Dew died to me when they switched their image from that of a soda that appealed to hayseeds to one that catered to the extreme sports crowd. Fresca is not afraid to be itself. They barely market it at all because they don't need to. Good enough without it. Except when they spray your computer, which mine just did. They'll have to get a towel. I've been waxing poetic about these snacks. It's time to get down to business and show you what they are. Now for your pastry fruit groups, you want to start out with something cinnamon-based. Use Hostess coffee cakes with cinnamon topping. Answer the call effectively, efficiently, and eternally. That'll power you on to the pie. Now Hostess fruit pies are a beautiful thing, but the Little Debbie fruit pies they're sort of like that attractive girl who you didn't really notice in high school. Then you see her 10 years later and you're kicking yourself for not having asked her out when you had the chance. But then you realize you're fat and balding and you're poor and awkward. So you never would have stood a chance anyway, but little Debbie will never say no to you. She'll always be there. The icing on this is thicker than that, which you'll find on a Hostess pie. No disrespect to Hostess, but little Debbie has this down to a science. It's the pinnacle of a convenience store pie. Finally, you want something from the cookie family. These Knott's Berry Farm strawberry cookies do quite nicely. You can see the fruit. It's sort of like a Danish butter cookie style with some jam inside. Now when you're transitioning from your sweet snacks to your salty snacks, you need a proper bridge. These Lance peanut butter wafers will do it for you every time. They're halfway in between a cookie and a cracker, and they have a peanut butter filling, and they just form a good bridge. I'm a believer in starting small and finishing big. That's why I have these Planters salted peanuts with me, and they are like Guitar George. They know all the chords, strictly rhythm. They don't want to make a cry or sing. They don't pretend to be anything more than what they are, but that's okay. They're perfect in and of themselves, a classic, timeless snack that never goes out of style. Next, corn nuts. If you ever leave a convenience store without getting a bag of corn nuts, you did it wrong. Go back and buy some. You can also count this as a serving of vegetables too. There's few better ways to rile health Nazis than taking a health food and deep frying it. You can see here these corn nuts. Buy corn nuts and people will know they can't push you around. Next we have Chester's Puff Corn. Now usually you'll see the cheese variety, don't buy that. Buy this instead, it's the butter flavor. First encountered these in Iowa, and they're a bit rare to find in these parts. But once you find a place that sells them, make that your second home. That's what I've done. It's somewhere in between popcorn and a Cheeto in its consistency, but the buttery goodness has no parallel. Munchos. Need I say more? Next item that's a bit ignored are these brightly colored juices that you'll see in convenience stores. They're usually pretty cheap, and God only knows what's in them. But if I wanted to live forever, I wouldn't do 99.99% of what I do, most of which consists of eating things that fill my clogged heart with joy. You also know that you have a truly exceptional case, or rather an authentic case, of these juices if the bottles leak a bit and destroy something in your car. If they don't do that, then the production quality is too high and you have to be a bit suspicious. Now it's time to get into the candy a bit. First up, I don't know why it is that I always present everything upside down at first. Chew. Now I'm sure you're familiar with Starburst. Chew is its lesser known brother, but far superior in many ways. Stronger overall flavor, easier package to handle, and it's all the taste in a very small package here. You see this. Now don't be confused and think that it's gum. It's not. They're a bit harder than a Starburst. But the good thing is you can basically use these as a unit of time measuring. Typically it takes me 29 seconds to eat a chew. So if you need to measure a time unit shorter than a minute, measure it in chew. I may have made a liar out of myself. I don't know if the exact 29 seconds or not, but it was probably close to it. Now at this point, you might start feeling a little bad about how much you're eating, the calories you're taking in, and how you're making your lonely, pathetic life even lonelier and more pathetic by gorging yourself on these snacks. That's why you need to have a score bar. This is what will restore your dignity. It's the most elegant and dignified of candy bars. And when you eat one, you feel all the sophistication of a Bond villain with the regality of Prince Charles and every other significant royal figure put together. That's what the score and its delicious butter topping will do for you. It's a regenerator of pride. Next candy is a Zagnut Bar. This is the zenith of candy. It's quite rare to find. You have to hunt around a bit for it. Sort of like the chew and the puffcorn. It's a coconut-coated Butterfinger-esque kind of bar that leaves out the chocolate, which is good because not everything needs to be covered in chocolate, and it just really doesn't add anything to a Butterfinger. This is what a Butterfinger should and could be. Now, speaking of things as they could be and should be rather than what they are, I present to you these crunchy cookie Reese's Cups. Now, you may remember when Reese's introduced their Reese's Pieces filled peanut butter cups with a lot of fanfare. I tried them out, and they certainly did not meet my expectations. They sort of had little shards of Reese's Pieces cut up and thrown in there, and it was sort of like when you're eating sardines, those little bones that you can't avoid. And all they do is screw with the texture, they don't add anything. Whereas it's the exact opposite story with these. These are the genuine article, the real deal, the OG. And this is what you want. Run this with the Baby Ruth bar. Now, a lot of people mistakenly believe that it was named for the baseball player Babe Ruth. It wasn't. It was named for Grover Cleveland's daughter, who was not only Grover Cleveland was not only the first president and only president to serve 2 non-consecutive terms, he was also the first and only president to this point to have a child born when in office. Her name was Ruth, and that's where this name comes from. So eating a Baby Ruth candy bar, it's not just pleasurable, it's also patriotic, and it's your duty to do it. In my mind, leaving a convenience store without one is akin to treason. Now, the next time you stop somewhere for gas, or you pull over for a snack, or some sort of needed item, please remember what I showed you today. You can watch this video again. You can take notes and make sure that you get things right this time. Now go out there and roll in the glory and joy of developing rolls, if there's any joy to be found in that, and eat the right way.